Financial formulas sometimes are pretty tricky unless you happen to know some of the Excel functions. The function called FV, based on the term future value, is ideal when you're considering how much money you might have if you've been depositing into an account on a regular basis. Now, interest rates at the time of this recording are fairly low. 2% might even be optimistic. Question comes up, how much money will I have after 5 years if I pay $300 per month into an account that earns 2% interest per year? Now, people who are knowledgeable about the stock market might say there probably are better ways to put your money, but nevertheless, let's see what happens here. And maybe by the time you're viewing this, interest rates will have gone up. In cell B9, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that the numbers in question are already here in cells. Equal FV, left parenthesis, the rate, there it is, 2%. Be sure to divide that by 12. These are monthly payments. We want to divide this by 12. Comma, 60 months. If this said 5, meaning 5 years, we multiply it by 12. Don't need to do it here. Comma, the monthly payment, $300. And that's how much money we'll have. Now, it is displayed as a negative. I think most people probably would want to work with this number as a positive. So double clicking here, we can either put a minus in front of the FV or right in front, in this case, of the B7. Now, if you simply multiply those numbers, that's how much money you would have if you put the money in the proverbial cookie jar or under the mattress and nobody touched it. That would be $18,000. So after 5 years here, you've really only made $914 additional dollars. Nothing to ignore necessarily, but we see the limitation of low interest rates. Here too, you might want to consider expanding this display, considering different interest rates that could be available and different amounts that you might be depositing each month. So we could build a master formula here using FV and using techniques that you might be familiar with if you're familiar with absolute and relative addressing. The rate in question here, coming from cell D5 for this situation only, but the other rates are always going to come out of column D. So let's press Command T a few times so that we see the dollar sign in front of the D, but not in front of the 5. We need to divide that by 12, comma, the number of payments in the loan. If we put in 120, this would be for 10 years. That's 10 times 12. Let's use that number. If we are going to be setting up this model for a specific number of years, in this case, 10 years, 120 months, we must make this reference absolute. No dollar sign in front of the D or the 4, but both of them. Comma, and now we'll precede this next entry with a minus, the amount we're borrowing, in this case, E4, but we want to make sure that that's always coming out of row 4, so we'll press Command T again. Dollar sign in front of the 4, but not in front of the E. And as I press Control Return, not simply return, we will have a bunch of answers here. If we'd like to see the pennies, we could certainly do that. Otherwise, we can see the different amounts that we will achieve if we've deposited so much money, different amounts here each month based on different interest rates. Function FV, future value.